bench in the world who has mixed feelings about homosexuality and the morality of it, and whether it's something that should be applauded or whether it's something. The vertebrae out of your back just to fit inside of someone's ceiling. Mm-hmm. You have to stand up full and proud, stand up erect. You know what I mean?
Let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress.
So we were sitting in the service and I leaned up toward him and I said, I've just been touched to give $1 million. So as—
You are not ready for this bombshell. Tyler Perry's name just got dragged right back into the spotlight. And this time, it ain't about no new movie or feel-good show. Nope. This time, it's courtroom chaos. And guess who's fanning the flames? The two voices Hollywood tried to shut up for years, Katt Williams and Terrence Howard. These two have been shouting the truth from the rooftops while everybody else played deaf. Way before any lawsuits or blog gossip, they were already sounding the alarm. They exposed the shady backdoor deals, the phony handshakes, the broken promises, and what they claim is a dark, twisted game happening behind Tyler Perry's polished image. So the real question is, why is everybody acting brand new now? Like they didn't hear the warnings years ago? It's like folks just waking up. And baby, the drama is boiling over. Word on the street is Katt and Terrence are finally done holding back. They're ready to drop the full truth, and guess who's in the bullseye? Tyler Perry. And at the center of it all, a heavy topic that's been buzzing in Hollywood for years: black men being made to wear dresses for laughs and ratings.
Not dropping names, I'm just giving credibility to what I'm saying.
No, never drop names.
That Marvin was gay, And I'm like, was he gay? And Quincy's like, yes.
Oh.
He went around.
But Terrence ain't staying quiet no more. He's claiming he got caught up in it too. Pressured, pushed, and now he's speaking out. He says it's more than just roles. It's an agenda to strip black men of their power in front of the cameras. This is getting deep. Word on the street, Terrence Howard is fed up. He's tired of watching Hollywood push the same tired story, and now he's airing it all out loud and clear. They slapped the label difficult on him, but for what? Just because he wouldn't throw on a dress and play along like they wanted? Please. He's not just talking for himself either. He's echoing what Dave Chappelle said, what Katt Williams been screaming. This ain't one man howling in the dark. It's a chorus of black men saying, "We done with this." And guess what? Folks close to the situation say Hollywood straight up iced him out. Yep, they shut doors on him just for saying no. No to the dress, no to the narrative. And it's gotten so bad that Terrence is even thinking about walking away from acting completely. That's how deep it cuts. But he ain't standing alone. Katt Williams got his back, and he's calling out the same so-called unspoken rule in the industry. Like you gotta play a certain role, or you don't get to play at all.
For that our entire world economy is based off of the politicians and the authority.
Now sure, Terrence has had his share of controversy, but don't act like the man ain't crazy talented. He was on Bill Maher's podcast recently, and whoo, he spilled everything. He said he was this close to playing Smokey Robinson in a big biopic, but passed. Why? Because he was already looking at a Marvin Gay film with Lee Daniels, and turned that down too. Once he saw the angle they were taking, especially with the rumors around Marvin's sex life, he said he couldn't go through with it. He said it straight up. He couldn't kiss another man on screen, even said, "I'd rather cut my lips off." That's how real it got. Terrence didn't hold back. He made it crystal clear. If he can't connect with a role, he won't fake it, no matter who's behind the camera. And while that Marvin Gay movie was never officially confirmed, things got messy real fast after Quincy Jones dropped some wild claims back in a 2018 interview. Quincy straight up said Marvin had romantic ties with Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor. And then he went way off the rails saying Marvin would do anything for a mailbox.
They put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career. I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress.
Like, what even is that? Naturally, Terrence's comments set the internet on fire. Folks came for him hard, called him offensive, ignorant, and even said platforms should stop letting him speak. And let's not forget, this is the same guy who once claimed 1 × 1 = 2 and swore he could disprove the Pythagorean theorem. Like, what is even happening? Still, he didn't back down. He said he was pressured into stuff behind the scenes, and the second he started speaking up, bam, he got blackballed. And now you're wondering how this all ties back to Tyler Perry? Oh, buckle up, because it gets even darker. Actor Derek Dixon just dropped a $260 million lawsuit against Tyler Perry, and honey, the accusations are chilling. Dixon claims Perry harassed and assaulted him while filming The Oval in Ruthless. And when Dixon didn't go along with it, suddenly career opportunities vanished, gone.
What's happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand it.
He says what started as mentorship turned into manipulation. Total switch up. Now, Perry's lawyer is calling it all a setup, saying Tyler won't be bullied. But according to Dixon, it runs deep. He says Perry used to flirt with him on set. This is turning into a full-blown storm. They promised him roles, career moves, big things on the horizon. But the second he said no to those alleged advances, everything flipped. According to Dixon, the next thing he knew, his character on The Oval was getting shot 4 times in the chest. Like, seriously? That wasn't just a plot twist, it was personal. He says Perry even warned him, play along or the character's gone. And guess what? Boom. Character dead. Just like that.
Perry has been hit with huge lawsuit from an actor by the name of Diddy.
But it gets worse. Dixon claims that after filming, Perry cornered him inside a trailer and groped him not once but twice. And during a cast trip to the Bahamas, it allegedly happened again. Things got so intense that Dixon says he ended up with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. He's now on medication just to get through the day. And even after all that, Perry allegedly tried to pull him back in, offering to produce his pilot, losing it. But instead of support, Dixon claims it led to another assault. This wasn't just emotional, he says it was physically and mentally destroying him. He said he was constantly sick, stressed, and spiraling into breakdowns. And instead of true help, he claims Perry's team, the so-called fixers, tried to clean it up with hush money, random pay raises, and flashy promises like buying his show. Eventually, Dixon walked away. He left the series, moved to California, and says he lost around $400,000 in earnings trying to escape it all. Now, he's demanding $260 million and a full-blown jury trial. And sis, that's only one piece of this mess. Back in 2023, actor Christian Keys hit IG Live and dropped major clues. He said he was abused by a powerful black Hollywood billionaire. No names were dropped, but let's be real. The internet connected the dots quick.
Lawsuit accuses Tyler Perry of an actor on one of the filmmaker's shows. Actor Derek Dixon has sued Perry for $260 million.
And when Christian Keys went live on Instagram, people immediately connected the dots. Everybody assumed he was calling out one person, Tyler Perry. Christian had worked on Perry's plays and shows before. Medea Goes to Jail, All the Queen's Men. So the link was clear. And in that IG Live, he dropped a bombshell. He said a major Hollywood figure climbed into bed with him while he was passed out from Hennessy in a guest room. Keys said he snapped, shoved the man off, and later deleted the video, rumored to be from serious pressure by some powerful people behind the scenes. Now the internet is buzzing, pointing out the spooky similarities between Christian's story and Derek Dixon's. Both men say they were harassed. Both say they were manipulated and pressured. And both kept it quiet for years. Neither one went to the police, but online sleuths are saying the stories line up way too perfectly to be just a coincidence. But hold on, it goes even deeper than that. Back in 2014, another name got pulled into this twisted web, Joshua Soule. He used to work closely with Tyler Perry.
As Perry assaulted him at Perry's Atlanta home in January of 2020.
But when things fell apart, they fell apart hard. According to court records, Perry filed a restraining order against Soule after a terrifying situation went down at Tyler's Atlanta studio. Whatever happened behind those gates had Perry calling in legal backup real quick. And no, this wasn't just some guy showing up without an invite. This man allegedly broke in, disabled the alarm system, crawled through ceiling panels, and locked himself inside an office like he was on a mission. Girl, it got so wild they had to evacuate the whole building. Police were out there for 4 hours trying to get him out. It was total chaos. Tyler Perry said it was harassment and filed a lawsuit against Joshua Soule, asking for $100,000 in damages, legal fees, and even therapy costs. But here's where the story takes a juicy turn. Rumors started swirling that Perry and Soule had some kind of romantic history. Yep, allegedly. Word is, once Perry tried to cut him off, Soule couldn't handle it and spiraled. Of course, Perry's legal team denied all of it, but then boom!
And in my bank account, who they gonna believe? Right? I got that $3,000.
Soule clapped back hard. He hit Perry, Tyler Perry Studios, and a supervisor named Brett Hendra with a $10 million lawsuit, and the accusations? Shocking. Soule claimed he was harassed, emotionally wrecked, and flat out humiliated. He said he was called baby, got strange messages, and was constantly made to feel uncomfortable on the job. And when he tried to report it, crickets. Nothing changed. The behavior kept going like it was normal. And yo, remember the Boondocks? That savage cartoon that dragged everybody through the dirt? Well, guess who they took aim at too? So, check this. The Boondocks aired an episode that fans instantly clocked as a straight-up parody of Tyler Perry. It hinted at shady behind-the-scenes moves and dropped subtle nods about his alleged personal lifestyle. And baby, after it aired, the drama hit real quick. Rumors started flying that Perry tried to get the show's staff fired and even thought about suing. He denied it all. But guess what? That episode mysteriously disappeared from the air. Poof! Gone! And that's when folks really started whispering, what's he trying to hide? Why shut it down so fast if it wasn't true? And now, with all these real-life allegations stacking up, fans are connecting dots that Hollywood clearly ignored for way too long. Remember when Spike Lee came for Tyler years ago? He said Perry's characters were drenched in stereotypes, lacking real depth.
All this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation?
Perry brushed it off like it was no big deal. But now, that silence is looking more like a cover-up move than confidence. And let's not act brand new. There's been long-standing buzz about beef between Tyler and Oprah. Word is, his ego started clashing with the biggest names in the game. The higher he climbed, the messier things got behind the scenes. People are now wondering, maybe those old rumors weren't just gossip. Maybe folks were trying to warn us. Even Spike didn't hold back. He went straight for the jugular, calling out Perry for cashing in on harmful tropes. And while Perry always defends his work by saying he's just telling his truth, the criticism hasn't stopped one bit. Now let's get back to Katt Williams. Whew. This man has never bit his tongue, not once. For years, he's been out here calling out the Hollywood gatekeepers. And when it comes to Tyler Perry, Katt's been dragging him right out into the open, no filter. He said it more than once. Tyler didn't just build that empire from hustle alone. According to Katt, there were backroom deals, manipulation, and some real dirty power moves happening behind the scenes. Folks used to call Katt crazy or say he was just being bitter, but look around now. The lawsuits, the NDAs, the silence from actors who once worked super close with Perry, it's looking more like a cover-up than a coincidence.
And when I'm hearing all this noise, man, it was crazy because there were no black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
Katt wasn't just rambling. He was warning everybody. And now, it's finally boiling over. Let's circle back to Terrence Howard. This man's been fighting the system for a long time. And let's be clear, he's not spreading hate. He said himself, he's not homophobic. But what he is calling out is what he believes is manipulation. Powerful men using influence in shady, underhanded ways to control the game. People laughed at him too. Said he was ranting, losing it, just making noise. But now, take a look. Terrence Howard, Christian Keys, Derek Dixon, all speaking up, all with stories that hit the same nerve. So now the real question isn't, was Katt crazy? The real question is, was he just ahead of his time? And here we are, with everything blowing up. The big question flying around now, can Tyler Perry survive this storm? This storm, it's different. Tyler Perry's dodged drama before like a pro, but now the smoke is way too thick. There are too many voices, too many accusations, and way too many people finally stepping up to speak instead of staying quiet. And let's be real, if those rumored Diddy tapes are real and Tyler's in them, whew, that could be the final nail. What's wild is that even now, folks in the industry are trying to protect him. Walking on eggshells around his name, hoping this all just fades out. But nah, this one's not disappearing. The energy has shifted, the internet is locked in, and Black Hollywood is paying close attention. Because if Tyler Perry, the man who built his name as a voice for the voiceless, ends up being exposed for hurting the very people who helped build him up, that's betrayal on a whole different level.
I still think there a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money.
Let's be clear though, this isn't about who he loves. This isn't about sexuality. Nobody's mad about that. It's 2025. Be who you are. What people care about is power, manipulation, control. When someone uses their influence to play games with people's lives and careers. When trauma gets swept under NDAs and pain is hidden behind money. That's when it stops being personal and becomes everybody's business. So here we are. The empire is shaking. The silence that used to shield him, it's starting to sound more like a scream, Katt Williams tried to tell us. Terrence Howard stood his ground. And now, with truth leaking out piece by piece, we gotta ask, what else is hiding in plain sight? Because let's be real, in Hollywood, what's whispered in the shadows always finds its way to the spotlight. And when it does, everything changes. That's the tea for today. But trust, this story ain't even close to finished. We're watching, we're listening, and we'll be ready when the next bomb drops. So if you're just as locked in as we are, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to know what's really going on. Don't miss a beat, and don't let anyone dim your truth. Catch you on the next one.